What's going on? Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Yeah.
The finale, What's Going On? I was surprised you didn't get more credit for that arrangement and that, Too Small for the Room came up.
It's a little bit light for this big old room in this point in the composition.
I thought it was too laid back for a night like this. Sorry.
Does this mean that, Joni Mitchell shouldn't play a big room, or Jack Johnson, or, any variety of singers? And I'm a big Jodie Watley fan, and she had blogged about you and was like,
very cool.
This is a great voice. Why are they not getting that? Were you bothered at all by the What's Going On comment? And how did you feel about the performance when you were done?
I actually felt good about it. The thing about What's Going On is there's a lot of pressure in that song because the message in it is so great, and I wanted to convey that, and so I kind of did want to the same thing, kind of strip it down and like make it about the words,
right,
and make it about what the song was about,
right.
And I hope that people got that through that performance. And that place was huge. Like there were 7,000 people there. And I didn't feel like I had to like blare like the speakers to get people's attention.
You're not going to do the death metal version.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Yeah.
I got to know what's going.
I'm going to shift off of performances for a minute. As the finale approached, especially when we got to top 3 and top 2 week, it seemed like certain pundits and certain news outlets wanted to turn this sort of televised singing competition into a referendum on social issues.
Yeah.
Were you surprised when that started to happen?
I wasn't surprised, but I was frustrated because me and Adam had talked about it forever. That wasn't what we wanted it to be about. We wanted it to be about the music and about and just how we performed, but sometimes it's not always what American Idol's about.
Yeah, and it seemed like you guys almost made, in a subtle way, an attempt to sort of push that off, down to your fingernail.
Yeah, there was like a thing about me and Adam, how we didn't like each other and how we could never get along, and I was like, it's so stupid. Like, we were roommates and really good friends, and we did do the nail polish thing. We thought it was kind of a slap in the face. The rest of the world didn't think that we could get along.
Obviously, being roommates and friends with Adam, did you see some of the more crazy stuff, like the Bill O'Reilly report on him? Was that really surreal, as someone who got to know him?
I didn't see a whole lot of this stuff. I mean, I'd heard about, a lot of stuff about Adam, but I didn't see a lot of it. Adam deals with it in an amazing way. Like, he's so sure of who he is that it didn't bother him. He just was like, that's me, and so whatever.
A little bit of a sense of humor about
it. He's got a great sense of humor.
So you
kind of have to be on the show and to be in front of the world. If you can't have a sense of humor about yourself, then you're screwed.
So you're going out into a post-Idol world, but I think we have a pretty good idea of the sound that you're going to create. Would you say what you did on Idol is pretty indicative of what you would like to do?
I think it would be something like that, maybe up a notch with a little bit of surprise as well. I think you're going to hear some things on there that probably, like this year when, I picked out a song and people were like, why'd you do that song? And then they heard it and they're like, that was great. I think that you'll probably like look at the back of the album and be like, why is he singing with that person? And it turns out great.
If there was a performance this season that you could take back and either have a do-over or just pick something else, what would it be?
It would probably be the Don Henley song. Just because the whole arrangement didn't work out the way I wanted to, and singing the pit is like death.
The pit is bad.
Yeah, don't do it. Anybody, don't do it.
All she wants to do is dance, dance, dance.
And you picked the pit after Matt Gerard was in the pit first, right?
I know, what was I thinking?
It's like, I called it the Silence of the Lambs pit because it's scary and you're like thrown down there and nothing good is going to come out of it.
No, absolutely nothing good comes out of that.
Did you know in dress rehearsals where you were a little bit like, uh-oh, or was it just during the live performance? That
I think during dress rehearsal I was like, this might be okay, but it just didn't feel right. You don't get like an energy from the audience, and you don't know what's going on, and it's just weird.
And they're kind of going like this, but it's not with the music.
Offbeat, and why are they in the studio doing that? It's just weird.
Yeah. We got a little bit of a taste of your home life this year. I think we saw less about the contestants maybe than we did in the past. I think mostly because the judges were talking. But you and your wife in matching aprons was perhaps the most adorable slash,
Make
well,
you want to throw up.
my husband was like, what is with, no, this is too much. It's too much. Like, too much with the matching aprons. It's too cute. I mean, are you guys that cute at home?
No.
Is your wife that adorable? No.
Like, we seriously did not want to do it, and the producers made us, because he was like, this is good TV. And I was like, oh gosh. And it was like a wedding present that we had kept in a cabinet.
One of those matching apron sets that would never come out.
That there was money in it, so we were happy about it. Right. But they were still, like, kept in the cabinet. But thank you, Miguel.
I also thought if any outside person can take a little credit for some extra votes toward the end, I think your dad probably gets some credit because, you know, you need crying parents during a hometown package to make it work emotionally. And I swear to God, it was like a tear fest on my couch. It was great, great TV. And then when you said, don't cry, mama, it was just... Were you aware, like, at that moment,
No.
were you just like, oh, no, the cameras are on me, or were you just, like, totally overwhelmed and not thinking about?
Well, I felt bad because I wasn't crying. Like, I didn't want to cry. I was excited. Like, there was 20,000 people to see me, so I was stoked. But and my parents are crying, and my dad's a really emotional person. Like, he's always been that way. And so it was nothing new to me, but it was, you know, he's that kind of person, and my mom's emotional too, and I didn't know what was going on. That's just kind of how we react as a family. Like, all my brother's a crier as well, and so I think he started crying. So,
well, you guys stepped up as a family and filled that, you know, crying void. It has to happen. You
have to have that
on the hometown visits don't work without some crying families. That's all I have to say about that subject.
You've changed my life, so I owe that all to you. So thank you so much, guys.